What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we have got a new weekend league team, but not really, but really. Like obviously for me, because we do the first owner Road to Glory, to make any change in the team on a week to week basis is quite big. And I'm going to be changing 3 cards here today, which for me specifically, honestly, is genuinely quite big. It just is. It is a big addition. It is a big change to the squad. We're going to be playing... What I want to do is just try a few different variations of teams and inputs to see if I can find a little bit of form, because I've actually been sucking the last 2 days. So in terms of FUT rivals, I haven't played FUT CHAMPS yet. We're going to play our first game here. In terms of FUT rivals... I've actually lost, I think, other than a draft, I think I've lost about 7 or 8 games in a row. And in FUT Rivals, I have gone from like 23, 25 down to 21, 71 in like 6 or 7 consecutive games. I was playing terrible FIFA yesterday. I also played a few friendlies. We played against General Mustafa, who's a streamer that I've found over the last little while. He beat us 4-3 in 120th minute. I played against, he got 26 wins last week, by the way. Played against Shadowbuster, who I actually beat in FUT Rivals 2 days ago. He beat me 4-0, and he got 28 wins last week. And then I also played against Navi. He beat me 3-1, I believe, or maybe 2-0. And he also got 28 wins last week. So I'm playing against better players on purpose, obviously, which is why we're taking the losses. But I just wasn't playing good. So I want to share with you guys the squad that we're going to be using for the first game today. What I want to try and do is, because we get 30 games, I want to try and do one team for 6 games. That way we can play with 5 different teams. Now, of course, the core of the teams are going to be quite the same. What I want to do is just have a play around with midfielders and attackers to try and find some players that I wouldn't normally have used that are going to be good. And on that note, last night playing with Rabiot, he is actually really good. He's a very good card. However, who are we going to be playing with today? We're going to be starting Luis Suarez. Of course, he is a big new addition to our squad, 92 rated. I have played some games with him. I don't know where I want to play him. I've played a few games with striker. I don't like the fact he doesn't have 4-star skill moves. Played a few games at centre mid, but his long passing is terrible. I still stand by the fact that he would actually make a good centre mid, other than the fact I think Haber pointed out to me that because he's got really low jumping, in spite of the fact that he's tall, he doesn't win any headers and stuff, so that's a bit of a problem. In the centre midfield role, guys, we are going to go with our new red inform Sarabia. And I think I want to give this guy marksman. He doesn't have the greatest stamina, so we are going to have to sub him off. So we could see the likes of... Ooh, do I want artist on him, actually? Good passing and dribbling. Yeah, we don't care about shooting. He's a centre mid, so we're going to give him the that there. So yeah, bringing on Lala or Rabiot into that midfield role, or even Kevin De Bruyne into that midfield role is going to be very nice for us. And then last but not least, before the shape shift happens again, we're going to be playing with Koke up in that left wing spot. So everybody, of course, gets 10 chemistry. I think Koke does as well. Other than my left back now, Mendy on 7. And we're just going to keep him on 7 for the sake of... Actually, do you know what? I could actually put... No, because I don't want to waste chem styles. I could put Ashley Young out there and get the strong link to Rio Ferdinand, but I don't want to waste the chem style. So for Koke, the chem style that I want to apply to him right now, he's obviously got good pace. I do want to boost his dribbling. His passing is fine. So dribbling and physical wouldn't be bad for me. And then shooting. So I am going to give Koke marksman and just boost his stats very nicely through the middle of the team there. Do we have a marksman chem style? Surely. We don't oh, we do. There it is. Damn, I was looking at that thing and surely we have one. There you go. So marksman is what we're going to give to Koke. So for Koke's boost, he gets a really nice dribbling boost. Boosts that agility, reactions, ball control and dribbling. A good physical boost for strength and aggression. And then a really nice shooting boost, of course. For Sarabia, who is our red in form, he gets a nice passing boost. His short pass, long pass and vision go up massively. His ball control and dribbling, his agility and balance go up massively. And he's got alright pace and alright shooting. We're not going to really be shooting with him. His stamina and strength aren't the greatest, nor his aggression. So we've got to work on that in subs. And then obviously Luis Suarez is going up front. I've got sniper on him. I don't know what the best chem style is for him because I don't know where I want to play him yet. And I'm in a bad position where... trying to play with too many attackers has caused me some big issues. You know, we set the team up before where we had Suarez, Bale, Trezeguet, Sané and De Bruyne. 5 attackers. You need a balanced team in this game. Now, for the tactics for this specific game, we're going to be running the 4-1-2-1-2 just because I don't have 2 CDMs. So Thomas Partey at CDM, Sarabia and Koke in midfield, Suarez at cam, Bale and Trezeguet up front. The only thing I can do, which you guys are going to absolutely laugh, is if I do want to play in the 4-2-3-1, if I feel like I need that defensive-minded outlook, for me personally, Sarabia is obviously a terrible DM, so we're going to have to play something like this. But this isn't good for attack because there's not enough pace on those players going forwards. So that, guys, is going to be the team. Now, normally I would play a live game here and talk over it whilst we play, Ruiner Anima style, but I liked what I did in one of the previous videos where I played the full game off camera and talked after it, because I feel like that's going to give us a better understanding of how good I can be with this team and just allow me to focus a bit better and make sure we get the best out of our weekend league. So that is the squad, guys. Let's get into a game. Alright guys, as we go into the game, we come up against a 4-3-2-1 team, and I actually thought this was a sick team. Lewandowski and Lala red, inform Hernandez, Oblak, Boateng and Alaba, UCL Kondogbia, Depay, inform Martial, sick players. I thought the right wing would get subbed off immediately. He didn't sub him off immediately, so he used him. We got some comments. We only have about 10-15 minutes, well 10-11 minutes actually of this video to go. So let's get straight into the comments. But guys, thank you so much for being on the channel. I appreciate you guys a lot. If you could drop a thumbs up on the video, it would be very much appreciated. Nuno Silva says, I suggest you to play in-game 4-1-3-2 with Partey at CDM, De Bruyne at centre mid, Bale and Sané on the wings, Trezeguet and Suarez as striker. And not last weekend, but the weekend before, when I actually got Elite 3 for the first weekend, I was using the 4-1-3-2. It was really, really effective, generally speaking, against your average players. What I've experienced whilst playing against all the pro players that I played this week and whilst playing through Division 2 a lot this week is that the 4-1-3-2 is not strong enough against good opponents. And if I set up like that with no alternative, because obviously with those kind of players, I can't play with 2 DMs because I don't have 2 DMs, and I can't play even with like a 4-1-2-1-2 because I don't have the right positions for centre mid. It just leaves me really, really short. And again, as I mentioned at the start of this video, it just leaves it super, super imbalanced. Having what is essentially 5 attackers and only 1 midfielder is just not a good idea in this game. As much as I want to play with Suarez and as much as I want to play with all of my cool attackers all at once, it would just be bad for the game in general if that's what I actually did. So what we did for today's team is we played the 4-1-2-1-2. I think Koke and Sarabia are great centre mids. They're very usable. I think having Suarez at cam is fine. Bale and Trezeguet up front is absolutely fine. And we'll play 5 games with this team, or maybe 6 games I think, because then I could do 5 different setups up front. And we'll see how it goes. And if it's not working out, it's not working out, and we'll change it. And if it is working out, maybe we'll stick with it. Who knows? But I definitely feel like the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow and the 4-2-3-1 narrow are the go-to formations this year for me and my play style. The 4-1-3-2, although I have got my best results with the 4-1-3-2, as I said, is just not good enough against the top quality opponents. So if I have a weekend league where matchmaking doesn't favour me and I face 10 to 12 top end opponents instead of 5 or 6, I'm really, really going to struggle, and I don't want that to be the case. George Day, I said your name wrong probably, it's spelt really weird. He says, I've invested in buying all Serie A players for the SBC, and I'm so underwhelmed with the choices. Dzeko, nobody uses, so that's a waste. And Skriniar, who only has a +2 overall, that's not worth 300k plus. Where's the fun players like an 86 Belotti or Bonaventura or Boateng? EA missing a trick with these this year. And I absolutely agree. I think the league SBCs, generally speaking, have been absolutely horrific. I don't even think there's a single one player that I look at and think they're worth the coins, not one. As you say, Skriniar is only a +2 to his regular card, and he already has a UCL card, which means he's already at a point where this card is just irrelevant. He's like, you can buy his UCL card for like 70k, or the SBC costs like 300k plus. You can maybe snipe it a bit cheaper or be prepared for it. You get some packs back, so that's all good. But yeah, generally speaking, the league SBCs are just absolute waste. Jacoby Barker, really long comment, but I'm only going to read until a point where the comment becomes pertinent. He says, "Hey Nep, really appreciate you bringing a mouthpiece to the community. Couldn't agree more with what you said. I really wanted Rio, and so I decided to dive straight into that Prime Icon SBC and completed 6 out of the 7 segments, selling some big money players in my team to fund it, for example, Sandro, Chiellini and Buffon. I've managed to scrape together a further 300k towards buying an icon to trade in. However, I realise that there is in fact a timer on the SBC, so I have around 23 days to get together 400,000 coins, and being under 18, I simply can't spend on FIFA points to fund that, nor do I think it's worth my money. But as a casual FIFA player in college with other responsibilities as well as this game, how can I reasonably expect to generate that level of coins in such a short space of time?" And there is a lot more to the comment, and the answer is you can't, and that's by design. Last year, EA left the icon SBCs up, and by the certain periods of the game, everyone had lots of icons, especially towards the back end of the game with the great market crash. Icons like Maldini was under 1 million coins. I did Ronaldo for like 2 million coins. Like, it was cheap to get icons done. And I don't think they want that. And I think it's literally by design, my man, that EA have made it in a state, so you're saying you can't reasonably play for those coins because you've got things going on outside of FIFA which are obviously far more important, and so they do that because they expect you to say, oh, let me just put 12k FIFA points on, get towards this icon a bit quicker. And it's ultimately a money-making scheme. It's not about the community or giving back to the fans. To the fact of the matter that the cheapest icon on the market right now on PlayStation and or Xbox is around 700,000 coins is absolutely absurd. I picked up, what is the cheapest icon? Yes, 680 on Xbox. 680,000 coins. I bought Haji for 605,000 coins to get Rio Ferdinand. So I obviously saved, in that sense, 75,000 coins compared to now. Now, do I expect icons to go down in price for Black Friday? Sure. Are they going to go down to a point where these icons are worth it? Probably not. So yeah, I think the icon SBC is just an absolute farce. Connor says, completely agree, Nep. The fact we can't see rewards from other divisions in game is awful as well. EA added visual chemistry style changes to cards in game to stop going to sites like FUT, etc. But we still have to visit these sites to review other division rewards. Ludicrous. Not only that, we still have to go to these sites to look at in-game boosts from chem styles. Because if I want to apply a hunter to Suarez, or maybe a sniper or a finisher, I can't just hold over it and see what he would look like with that chem style and that chemistry. I have to just put it on and then hope that it works. So I'm still finding myself going to FUTBin and FUTHead and FUTWiz to be like, okay, so if I apply this one, what do I get? If I apply this one, what do I get? And it's crazy to me that EA still haven't got it right. Like, it's good to see the in-game stat changes once you've applied the chem style, and then you can see how much impact it makes on 7 chem or 6 chem or 8 chem or 10 chem. That's cool. But the actual chem style itself, you just can't see what the changes are until it's too late. Nando's FC says, hey Nep, love the vids. Legit can't remember playing FIFA without watching you. I'm 17 and really into FIFA. I finished anywhere from Gold 3 to Elite 2, which I find weird because if you are meant to have skill-based games, then surely it would be more consistent. Love what you're doing and wish you the best from Scotland. Well, I appreciate the kind words, dude. And basically what you'll have is a situation of matchmaking based on when you play and how lucky you are. So as we talked about in this video, and as we've talked about to death on the channel many times, I personally know that on any given weekend I can get 26 or 27 wins, or potentially 19 or 20 wins. That 6-win swing, or even 18 wins, that 6-win swing is because if I get favourable matchmaking, I'm fine. Like last weekend, for example, I got to 20 and 5, so I only had to win 3 of my last 5 to get Elite 3. I ended up getting to going to 20 and 7 because of the fact that I ended up playing 2 genuine top 100 players. I played one guy that finished 30 and 0 and one guy that finished 28 and 2 in a row, back-to-back games. So I needed to win my last 3 games. I won the first game. The guy tweeted me afterwards. That was his he was 24 and 5 before that, and that was his game for 25 wins. I won the second game, and that guy was 25 and 4, and that was his game for 26 and 4 that I beat him, so he finished 25 and 5. So I've now played 4 Elite 1 or better caliber players in a row, and in the final game, I lost the final game, hilariously, to a guy who finished gold 2. He tweeted me afterwards as well, and I just bottled it, essentially. That was my bad. But basically, out of my final 5 games, I got so unlucky as to play 4 opponents that were Elite 2 or better caliber. If those 4 matchmaking opponents had favoured me, and instead of playing those 4, I had played 4 guys that were just going for gold 2, I probably would have finished Elite 3 that week. So, the form system and the matchmaking system, it's just backwards. It's just weird. It's just backwards and weird, and that's all I got to say about it, really. H2L Football Challenges Skills and FIFA says, YTF, are you not working for EA? You have some amazing ideas. Well, I appreciate you saying that, dude, but I need to make sure people understand what I'm about to say here. A good idea in principle or in theory doesn't necessarily translate very well in game. You know, so if we implemented something that I wanted into the game, it could have massive, dramatic negative impacts to the overall way the game works. You know, and again, I go back to the FIFA 18 World Cup mode as the prime example. There was only the icon SBC wasn't there. You could get 1 icon and that was it. Everyone, because of the duplicate storage system and how easy it was to get players and packs and stuff, everyone was screaming out for an icon SBC. EA gave us a repeatable icon SBC. Within a day, every team you came up against had at least 5 to 6 icons, and it was Icon Cup mode, not World Cup mode, and it was just a bad thing in general. The last comment we've got is from KRS. He says, hey, Nep, now you have Suarez, why not get Makelele for your team over your icon striker? You have so many options in attack already. Well, Trezeguet is better than Suarez, first and foremost, just because of the 4-star on the links that he gives. And secondly, I will trade in Trezeguet eventually, not for Makelele. I'll trade him in for a big icon. This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rate, and comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.